Hi guys. Woo! This is Shander with Super Happy Scrapper, and I just knocked over my scoreboard. Okay, so I am doing the tutorial on the School Memories album, and I'm going to show you how to make the pages. There already is a tutorial on the binding and how I do my covers. So I am just going to do a tutorial on the pages. There are 6 pages in this album. The covers measure 12 by 12, and I should probably tell you the spine is 2 1/4 by actually, you know what, they're 11.5 by 11.5. So the spine is 11.5 by 2 1/4, 11.5, and 11.5. Okay, so the covers are 11.5 by 11.5. This spine is 2 1/4 by 11.5. So we're going to make the page here. So you're going to need a sheet that measures 11 by 12 and one that measures 11 by 11 to make your base page. So you're going to want the 12-inch side in your scoreboard, so the 12-inch side is at the top. Let me grab my scoreboard because it fell. Okay. So you're going to put it in your scoreboard, so the 12-inch side is at the top. You're going to score at 1/2 inch, and then you're going to score at 11.5 inches. And this is what's going to create your base page. So you're going to fold on the score marks and then apply score tape, or you can use wet glue, but you want a strong adhesive. Just for this tutorial, I'm going to use ATG. Okay, so I'm just going to apply the ATG on the flaps. We're in the folded position. So now my sheet basically is 11 by 11 because I folded these in. So then you're going to take your 11 by 11 sheet and put it right on top of those flaps, on top of the adhesive. And just make sure you line it up to make sure that it's flush and square. Okay? So this is the base page. So you're going to want to put it, you're going to want to work with it so that the openings are on the left and the right side. So the second sheet that you need, and sorry, I'm going to have to unstick this because it's the second time I'm doing this, is 8.5 by 10.5. And what you're going to do is stick it in your scoreboard with the 8.5 inch side at the top, and you're going to score at 1.5 inches, and you're going to score it at 8 inches, okay? So on the 1.5 inch side, this is the side that I border punched, and I used the EK Success film strip. And so you're just going to punch it all across there. Then what you're going to do is fold it in on itself. Where this fold mark is, you're going to want to apply some score tape or some wet glue again. And you're just going to fold the flap down. What this is going to create is the tension style pocket that I have. So when you stick stuff in there, it'll kind of stick onto that score tape that's right here, okay? The other side is the 1/2 inch score mark. So what you're going to do now is flip it over. You want to apply the adhesive to the back here of this piece. Oh, I broke it. Okay, 1 second. I get my tape from Tape Jungle, and I just buy it by the case. So it is acid free, but it is the craft color backing. Okay, so now I have the adhesive on this flap. I'm going to stick the flap on the right side of the page. I'm going to kind of center it because this is smaller than the page. So I'm going to center it to make sure that it's even from top to bottom. And I'm going to stick it down right in front of the score line so that I can still open it like that. So that is the first page there. Now, the other sheets you're going to need 2 that measure 7 by 4.5. And you're going to need 2 that measure 6 by 4.5. What you're going to do is you're going to score all 4 of these pieces at 1/2 inch on the 2 short sides and 1/2 inch on the long side. So I'm sticking it so that the 7-inch side is at the top, and I'm scoring at 1/2 inch, and I'm scoring at 6.5 inches. And then I'm just going to rotate it and score at 4 inches. So I'm going to do that to both of those 7 by 4.5 pieces. I'm going to do the same thing to the 6 by 4.5 pieces. I'm going to put it so that it's at the 6-inch mark, and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch, 5.5 inches. I'm going to rotate it and score at 4 inches. So that's going to create these 4 pockets for the front wool of the album page. So what I like to do is I like to cut out this little square that's there. Just it cuts out on the bulk when you're doing your page. And I really need a smaller pair of scissors. Hold on. Oh no, I've got some. Okay. So I'm just going to cut out the corners on all of these. I'm kind of upset. I watch Netflix when I scrap, and I just watched the last season of Bones. I love Bones. And so it like ended at a really big cliffhanger. So now I have to wait for the next season to come on, and it's usually like a year behind. So it's not even like I can watch it this season on TV. Ugh, drives me nuts when they do that. But I guess that's what keeps you coming back. So after you have all these scored, you know, you're going to fold them on the score marks. And what I like to do is I always like to fold my side ones in and then fold the bottom one on top of that. That way your tags, when you stick them in, let's pretend this is a tag. So when you put your tags in there, they go in there nicely. Where if you had it with the 2 sides folded, sometimes they can get stuck on the bottom here and not go all the way down. So all we're going to do is you're going to fold all of those sides in first. I'm applying adhesive, the ATG, but again, you want to use some stronger adhesive. And so I'm not putting any on the bottom yet. I just want to stick these sides all down. Sorry. If I'm out of camera range. Whoa. Okay. So now I'm going to apply the tape on the bottom. And what I did was I just stuck the 7-inch one. Let me see if I can get a better angle here. Move my coffee. Okay, so I'm taking the larger one, which is the 7-inch, and I'm just placing it on the bottom, lining it up to the bottom and the left side of the page. And I'm just pressing it down. Now I'm going to take the smaller one, which was the 6 by 4, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm lining it up against this one and down on that one. Now, what I did was I put the smaller one on top of that one. So this is a 7-inch pocket. So now I'm going to attach the 6-inch pocket right above that. I'm butting the bottom of this pocket up with the top of this one. So that's the 6-inch one, and now I'm going to apply the 7-inch one. Okay, and that creates the 4 pockets on the front page. Now these 4 pockets, my tags, I like to stick out a little bit. So I've created my tags at, this one for the bigger pocket is 5 by 5 3/4, and the smaller pocket was 5 by 4 3/4, which is actually this one here. So it sticks out a little bit so I can still grab it. See, well actually they're not going all the way down there. That way I can still grab them. They don't get stuck in there, and they stick out on the top just the same, okay? So that is the front of the page. Now the back of the page is like super simple. It's just got one last piece here, and this one is 8.5 by 11. You're going to stick it in your scoreboard so that the 8.5 inch side is at the top, and you're going to score it 1/2 inch. And again, I'm going to miter my corners because it just puts it together so much easier. I rounded the corners on mine, and then I'm just going to apply the adhesive to the flap in its extended position, meaning it's not folded down. Then I'm going to fold it down, and I'm just going to put it on the top. I'm going to line it up against the line there, and then when I mat my paper, I run my paper, you know, 1/4 of an inch that way. So that is the basic page. Now, since the pages are 11 by 11, I made my tags on the inside 10.5. No, I made them, well, let me just get one and measure it. Hold on, I'm grabbing the book. These inside tags are 10 3/4 by 10 3/4. And they'll stick out just a little bit because this side of the page is where the binding goes. So the binding is going to stick in there 1/4 of an inch. So these are going to stick out just a little bit, which is good so that you can grab them and pull them out. Now they want to kind of stick in here. That's because my pictures like this is folded up and it's catching on there. So make sure when you attach your pictures that you apply adhesive all the way to all 4 sides so that they slide in and out better. Or where we're attached this flap here, you can stick another piece of cardstock on top of that, but then you're going to have it sticking further down in there. So I just say make sure you adhere them on all 4 sides. So that is how to make this page for the School Memories album. And again, I used my corner chomper. We are memory keepers. I think I used, yep, I used the 1/2 inch. And I rounded the corners on this page here, the flap on the back. And then I rounded the corners on my tags. So that's how I made this album. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a nice day. Bye.